island over here is called Litla Dímun, and it's a beautiful island. No one lives on it, it's just sheep. And this is the view from my village down here. And you see the sun up here. Now, I've actually hiked all the way up here, really just so I could record this video in some nicer light, as you can see now. But if I pan back, see the sun right there? So that's as much sun that comes over this fjord in December and January. There's no direct light hits this village. And if I come around behind me now, you will see all that sun up there. So that is, that's where I'm staying, that's where I live. As I say, this is a nice weather. But I really, really hope that I'm going to be making a lot of videos, especially on this island, and show you a lot of the amazing compositions that it has to offer here, and just the craziness of the weather and the light. Yeah, can't wait. So I've talked about this little island behind me called Litla Dímun. I'm actually going to try and get a nice photograph in black and white. You can't really see it so much in this video, but just to kind of this side here, there's a lot of side light hitting it just now, which is really lovely. So I'm going to get the Tamron 150 to 600mm lens out, and I'm going to try and zoom in on that and get as much of that in the composition, sorry, as I possibly can. So at the moment I want to get that shutter speed as high as possible to minimize shake, although I do have the VC mode on number 2 to help with the stability. I'm going to bring it down to an aperture of roughly, start at 6.3 and ISO 500. Now I am going to shoot in black and white on the camera. I'm shooting raw as well, and start off with, I'm going to zoom right in, and I'm going to focus on, actually I'm going to change the spot metering so I can really expose for that light shining on Litla Dímun. So right now I am on 1,000th of a second, 6.3. I'm going to increase the aperture to 8, and I'm going to decrease the ISO down to 400. I'm kind of underexposing roughly by a stop. That's looking really good. I like that. Now there's a little dusting of snow on the island, and you've got these nice little fluffy clouds behind. That's looking good. So obviously sitting at 1,000th of a second, I don't really have to have the vibration control on. Looking at that, nicely exposed. I quite like that light. Nice shadow in the back, kind of on the north end of the island. A bit shooting north. You can do it in portraits. Same again. Roughly about 1/3 of the sea, 2/3 making up the sky and the island. Yeah, really happy with that. Sometimes I put a polarizer on just to change the color of that sky and the water. Even in black and white, it makes a big difference as it would in color. But I've actually left my Nisi filters at home, which is terrible. I wish I had longer here. I don't. I'm actually on a bit of a time scale. I've got to head back down to the house quite soon. But there's these really nice dark clouds really starting to come over. We are expecting to get more snow today and tonight, which I'm very excited about. So they're starting to come over, which would really help with that composition onto the island. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do that at the moment. But I like these clouds are really starting to come up, which breaks away the blueness of the sky. You're just getting a little bit of the sky in. Yeah, that's nice. I really like that. I could shoot wider. I have got a shot that I took further down with the 24-70, yeah, which had the kind of landscape coming down, you know, one third of the composition with the water and then the island in the back there. And I like that, and I could probably do that again here. I would maybe want to move slightly further over around this way, so we get a little bit more land, less sea, but then you can end up with a little bit more kind of sky on the right hand side. But that lovely daylight that I was getting before is kind of gone, so this is all in shadow. Now I can see right now that that light is starting to really pop on what is the west side of the island, and that's really making that little bit of snow stand out. And if it was in color, you'd get the slight yellowy green of the grass. Now, interesting fact about this island, the neighbor village, which is called Kvalba on the other side, people in that village own that island, and only people from that village are allowed to own that island, and there's only sheep on there. I believe they bought it from, I think, the Norwegian king a long time ago. I've never been on it yet. I have been invited out, but I've never actually done it. But I do look forward to being able to go out there one day and do some photography, because it looks like a muffin. And quite often you get like cloud coming from the top, and it looks like a smoking volcano coming out. Or in the summertime when there's that low cloud or fog hanging over it, it looks like a muffin with white icing, which is really cool. Right, I think I'm happy with that. That light's kind of shining. I think it's gonna stay like that for a while, and I think it's maybe more time to actually pack up, get home. We've got a big family dinner today. Iris' siblings and their partners and kids are all arriving and staying for New Year, which I'm very excited about. New Year here is incredible. It's an amazing experience with they line all the cans. They line these huge big like catering style cans of peaches and baked beans, empty ones of course, all around the village. And then they light them, switch off the lights of the village, and then they have these big fire torches, and they parade through the village with the fire torches, eventually out to the beach where there's a big bonfire, set off fireworks. We come back, get washed and changed, and then after the bells, we go down to the local hall where we have food and coffee and drink. Quite often the younger ones put on like a sketch show, showing things that have happened in the year, in that year in the Faroes. I have been the subject of it twice, which is always fun, and it's interesting to see if they're going to do it again this year with Iris and I maybe moving back here. They're a good bunch. It's a small village, but they're really lovely here, which is nice. So let's get home and go and get some food.